Hey guys, welcome back to Masters of the Gritterverse. I'm Chris, back in our home again today because it is freezing outside. Not really freezing, but for here it's kind of cold. So, yesterday was Sunday. Wife and I went through and reorganized the pantry, and we found a bunch of these. I'm sure y'all have them in your pantry as well. Instant oatmeal packets. We got to thinking, what can we possibly do with instant oatmeal packets? So I did a little search on Google. So today we're gonna make instant oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Okay, seems pretty straightforward enough. So to get started, in this bowl here I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then here I have a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Let's go ahead and just add all that in. I'm going to give this a nice little mix, kind of get everything well incorporated. And now we're going to add in our instant oatmeal. So you're going to need 6 envelopes of instant oatmeal. Now I am doing just plain on mine, but if you have any of the flavored ones, the strawberries and cream, the blueberries and cream, the brown sugar, you can use those, of course. It'd be really cool. I don't know if they still make them, but the ones with the little dinosaur eggs, that when the egg melts off, whatever, it's got, I think it was like a little dinosaur gummy or something. That'd be really cool for the kids, I think. So, all right, 6 envelopes of instant oatmeal. I'm just gonna give this a quick little mix, get all the flour and everything incorporated with the instant oats. All right, so we're gonna set that off to the side. Now you want to grab your mixer. You can either use your stand mixer or a hand mixer. As you can see, I'm using my stand mixer today. I have 1 stick or 1/2 cup of softened butter already in here. To that, I am going to add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of sugar. Get that in there. And now you just want to cream all this until everything comes together. So with this part, it's very important that your sugar is room temperature, is softened, because if not, you're not gonna really get it all nice and fluffy. You're just gonna kind of make pebbles. My stuff, I believe, was room temperature enough, so I am starting to get the pebbles. If that's the case, just keep whipping it for a few minutes until you get the nice light fluffy consistency. Eventually, the butter temperature will come down and it'll start to almost melt. So everything there is getting nice and incorporated. Then you need 1 egg. And again, if you're not comfortable cracking your egg over your stand mixer, over your hand mixer, do it in a bowl that we can kind of test to see if there are any shells in there. To that, we're also going to add 1 tablespoon of cow juice, milk. I am simply just using 1% milk because that's what we have in the house right now. And then to that, you're also going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, with the vanilla, measure with your heart. I found my good silicone spatula. So let's go ahead and, oh yeah, everything's looking good there. Scrape everything down to the sides. Get as much off this whisk as we can because I'm actually going to change out the attachments. So I'm actually gonna change it out for my paddle attachment, I think that might be a little easier and better on everything. Yeah. All right. So now, with your mixture on low speed, you're gonna go ahead. You're gonna want to go ahead and add your dry ingredients a little bit at a time. Get everything. Make sure everything is nice and incorporated before you add your next little bit. I normally add my dry ingredients in like 3 separate batches to my wet ingredients. Uh, Fun fact, if you didn't know, sugar is considered a wet ingredient because it melts. And there is the rest of my dry ingredients. So let's pop this off just real quick. You want to scrape down the sides. That way all of the buttery sugar mixture that was on the bottom of the bowl can get a chance to come up here and meet the flour and oatmeal distant cousins. It's like a little family reunion here. Everyone's glad to see each other and they just want to give each other a nice, big old warm holiday hug. Put this back down, put it back on low, and you want to mix this just until everything is fully mixed in. There we go. Get rid of all the loose stragglers on the paddle. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and cook this or bake this just like this. But if you know me in real life, or if you know my wife in real life, we don't like just plain oatmeal cookies. Her favorite is oatmeal raisin. My favorite is oatmeal chocolate chip. So here we have, give or take, half cup of chocolate chips. You can add raisins, you can add nuts, you can add whatever you want to this. It's really up to you, whatever you want to do with your cookies. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to fold this in. Careful not to break any chocolate chips or possibly start making them melt. And so when my wife suggested this recipe, once I did the research and got all the ingredients and stuff, I was amazed that I probably had stuff in my pantry to make these easily for like 2 years. I'm not saying it's the same ingredients for 2 years, but over the last 2 years, I've easily had all the ingredients to make this. So this is something, especially now with Christmas coming up. We are 17 days. I can't wait. With Christmas coming up, the kids are gonna be home. You don't really want to go to the store and buy a bunch of ingredients to make 15 different cookies. Look in your pantry. If you have instant oatmeal, the sugar, the eggs, the vanilla, the flour, you have all the stuff needed for this. So, right. So once you get your dough all mixed together, you're going to want to grab a baking sheet lined with parchment paper and something with a flat bottom. And I'll show you why. Not this flat bottom. So, you want to grab your cookie scoop. While you're looking for your cookie scoop, make sure your oven's preset to 350 degrees. Mine actually is for once, which is a shock. So you want to grab a cookie scoop. The recipe says about a tablespoon. You can make them as big as you want. So you're going to grab your dough, get a nice packed rounded ball, plop her down on there. Do this for your entire baking sheet, and then take your flat bottom. You can use a spoon or a fork if you want, and simply just push this down until the cookie is roughly a quarter of an inch thick. So to prevent mine from sticking past this one, I floured the bottom of my measuring cup, so that way it doesn't stick. So again, you just want to get a nice rounded scoop, pop around there, take your flat object or your fork or your spoon, whatever you're using, and just push her. I'm flat. This does not want to work for me today. All right, guys, I am going to sit here and struggle with this until I get the rest of them done. Uh, Once you get your baking sheet filled, you're going to pop in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes or until the edges start turning a light golden color. It will look like the center of the cookies are not fully cooked or they're underbaked. That is perfectly fine. They're going to set up nicely in the cooling process. So let me get these all filled up. I'm going to throw them in the oven, and I'll catch you back in about 15 minutes when they're ready to come out. All right, guys, I need to hurry up and wrap this up because the wife's over there and she wants to eat my cookies. So these actually went in for about 11 minutes instead of the 8 to 10. The edges are starting to turn nice golden brown, which is what we want. Once you take them out of the oven, let them sit in the pan for about 2 minutes before you transfer them over to a cooling rack. Lovely, beautiful golden brown at the bottom. Let me give one to her off camera so she can try it. You're not on camera over here. They haven't cooled. How are they? Okay, so my wife never says any stuff is great or delicious. If I can get it good out of her, that's about as good as it's going to get. I almost can't tell it's an instant oatmeal. They're really good. That chocolate, of course, is delicious. Chocolate is like bacon, makes everything better. Really, really good solid cookie. Like I said, we were cleaning out the pantry and we found a box full of instant oatmeal. I'm sure you have one in your pantry too. This is a real, real simple cookie recipe you can make for your kids that are off on Christmas break. So, but yeah, until next time, like, comment, share all the good fun stuff. Catch y'all later. Thanks for stopping by. Y'all have a good day.